Alright, welcome to today's class. In today's class, I'll show you how to add and subtract vectors. Alright, we have here vector A is equal to 2i plus 3j plus 5k, and vector B is equal to 6i plus 7j plus 8k. And we are asked to find vector A plus vector B and also vector A minus vector B. Now note this: when you are asked to add or subtract vectors, simply add or subtract the corresponding components. When you are asked to add or subtract vectors, simply add or subtract the corresponding components. So this is what I mean. We have 2i and we have 6i. They are alike. So you add 2i to 6i. You cannot add 2i to 7j because 2 has I and 7 has j. So they are not corresponding. All right, let's solve this problem. We have here A plus B, vector A plus vector B. It is equal to vector A is 2i plus 3j plus 5k. And then plus vector B is 6i plus 7j plus 8k. So we have here vector A plus vector B is equal to, so what do we do next? Our next task here is to open up the bracket. So we have 2i plus 3j plus 5k plus we multiply what you have inside the bracket. So the plus sign multiplies 6i, it is 6i, and then plus 7j plus 8k. So vector A plus vector B is equal to, now our next task is to collect like terms. Remember I told you that when you are asked to add or subtract vectors, simply add or subtract their corresponding components. So we have here, we are going to add 2i to 6i. So we have 2i plus 6i, and then plus, let's move over to j. We have 3j. We are going to add 3j to 7j. So 3j plus 7j plus, we are going to add 5k to 8k. So we have a 5k plus 8k. So vector A plus vector B is equal to 2i plus 6i is 8i, and then plus 3j plus 7j is 10j, and then plus 5k plus 8k is 13k. So 5k plus 8k is 13k. Alright, so vector A plus vector B is equal to 8i plus 10j plus 13k. So this is the value of vector A plus vector B. All right, let's find vector A minus vector B. So vector A minus vector B, it is equal to, what's vector A? We have 2i plus 3j plus 5k. So this is vector A. And then minus, what's vector B? We have 6i plus 7j plus 8k. So this is vector B. All right, so our next task is to open up the bracket. So we have here vector A minus vector B is equal to, we have 2i plus 3j plus 5k. Now we are going to use the negative sign to multiply all the terms inside the bracket. So we have minus multiplies 6i. It gives us minus 6i. Minus multiplies positive 7j. It gives us minus 7j. Minus multiplies positive 8k. It gives us negative 8k. All right, our next task is to collect like terms. So we have vector A minus vector B is equal to, so if we collect like terms, we would have 2i minus, we have 6i here, 2i minus 6i. Let's move over to j. So we have positive 3j minus 7j. Let's move over to k. We have positive 5k minus 8k. So vector A minus vector B is equal to 2i minus 6i is minus 4i. And then 3j minus 7j is minus 4j. Five k minus 8k is minus 3k. So therefore, vector A minus vector B is equal to minus open bracket 4i plus 4j plus 3k. So you close the bracket. So this is vector A minus vector B. Alright, if you've not subscribed to this channel, kindly subscribe now. And also ensure you like this video. If you have a question, you are free to leave your question in the comment section of this video. Alright, let's take another example. If vector x is equal to 8i minus 3j and vector y is equal to 2i plus 4j minus 5k, and we are asked to add and subtract vector x and y, how do we go about it? Alright, let's consider the addition first. We have vector x plus vector y is equal to, what's vector x? Vector x is 8i minus 3j. You can see that there is no k for vector x. And then plus, what's vector y? Vector y is 2i plus 4j minus 5k. This is vector y. So we have here vector x plus vector y is equal to, now let's open up the bracket. So we have 8i minus 3j. Alright, to open up the brackets, we are going to use the positive sign to multiply each term inside the bracket. So we have plus 2i plus 4j. Now, if you use positive sign to multiply negative sign, it will give you negative sign. So we have minus 5k. Alright, so our next task is to collect like terms. So we have vector x plus vector y is equal to, we have here 8i plus 2i. Let's move over to j. And then minus 3j plus 4j. Now let's move over to k. We only have 1k here. So we have negative 5k. So vector x plus vector y is equal to 8i plus 2i is 10i. Negative 3j plus 4j, we are left with positive 1j. So we have plus j and then minus 5k. So therefore, vector x plus vector y is equal to 10i plus j and then minus 5k. So this is the answer. All right, let's find vector x minus vector y. It is equal to, what's vector x? 8i minus 3j. And then minus, what's vector y? Vector y is 2i plus 4j minus 5k. That's vector y. So we have here vector x minus vector y is equal to, our next task is to open up the bracket. So we have 8i minus 3j. All right, so we are going to use the negative sign to multiply each term in the bracket. So we have minus 2i. Negative multiplies positive, it becomes negative. So minus 4j. And then negative multiplies negative, it becomes positive. So we have plus 5k. So vector x minus vector y is equal to, our next task is to collect like terms. So we have here 8i minus 2i. Let's move over to j. And then minus 3j minus 4j and then plus 5k. So therefore, vector x minus vector y is equal to 8i minus 2i gives us 6i minus 3j minus 4j is minus 7j. So we have a minus 7j and then plus 5k. All right, so this is our final answer.